UWIOC. I'm the officer in charge of our Continuing and Professional Education Center here at the Open Campus. I'm the moderator of our launch today, and it is a pleasure for me to welcome you to this historic and significant event. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our partners, the Climate Resilience Execution Agency of Dominica. We have with us the Executive Director, Ms. Francine Barron, and joining us also is the Program Officer, Mr. Sam Carrett, who has been integral and instrumental to the development of this partnership. I also warmly acknowledge the presence of the Dominican government, who will be represented by the Honorable Greta Roberts, Minister for Governance, Public Sector Reform, Citizen Empowerment, Social Justice, and Ecclesiastical Affairs. We also have joining us the Cabinet Secretary, Ms. Corinne Prevost, and Mrs. Edith Roberts, the Chief Personnel Officer. I'm also delighted to acknowledge the presence of the representatives from the UWI Open Campus, Mr. Ryan Bayer, Deputy Director of the Open Campus Country Sites, Dr. Kimon Joseph, Head of our Open Campus site in Dominica, Ms. Anisha Welsh, Head of our Business Development Unit, and of course, fellow colleagues from the various departments that have been working behind the scenes to get this collaboration and this launch ready for today. I'd finally like to acknowledge the presence of the media that's been invited guests, those watching on Facebook and YouTube, and of course, our future CPE students of the Development Management Program. But at this time, I'd like to hand over to Ms. Corinne Prevost, the Cabinet Secretary, to bring us welcome remarks. Ms. Prevost?
Good morning to everyone, and thank you very much, Ms. Jamie, for starting this launch. Let me recognize our Honorable Minister, Greta Roberts, Minister for the Public Service. We are very pleased to have with us this morning Ambassador Francine Barron, the CEO of CREAD, Mrs. Edith Roberts, the Chief Personnel Officer, and all of the permanent secretaries who are joining us this morning, Mr. Ryan Bayer, Deputy Director of the Open Campus Sites, Dr. Kimon Joseph, Head of Site Open Campus Dominica, Mr. Louis Francisco, UNDP, Head of the UNDP office in Dominica, the staff of CREAD, members of the UE team who are with us this morning, all of the public officers who have signed on to this launch, members of the media, good morning to everyone, and a special welcome to this launch of the Development Management Training for the Public Service. I'm very pleased that we are partnering with the University of the West Indies this morning for this very important training for public officers of the Government of Dominica. As we know, this is part of our overall public sector transformation strategy, and we are very pleased that CREAD has been working very closely with us, the Cabinet Secretariat and the Committee of Permanent Secretaries, to ensure that capacity can be built among our public officers towards the objective of building resilience in Dominica. We know that this was a very important initiative of CREAD, and it was strongly supported by the Committee of Permanent Secretaries. I am very impressed with the support that we've been getting from CREAD and from UE Open Campus Dominica and the rest of the UE team to put this program together for public officers. A number of public officers applied for this program, and we have seen very great interest in this training program. So we do expect that we will continue this initiative beyond this first batch of public officers. So let me just welcome everyone this morning to this special launch, and we are really looking forward to this training initiative in collaboration with UE, Open Campus, and of course with CREAD. The permanent secretaries are in full support and will continue to support the public officers who have been selected to participate in this program. I really want to thank the PSCs who assisted in the selection process and welcome all of you to this ceremony this morning. So thank you very much, everyone, and I look forward to hearing from all of us.
Thank you so much, Cabinet Secretary. I'm sure that our guests feel extremely warmly welcome. And with that, I'll hand over to Mr. Ryan Bayer, Deputy Director of our Open Campus Country Sites, to bring remarks on behalf of the Open Campus. Mr. Bayer?
Thank you very much, Ms. Rock. Honorable Greta Roberts, Minister for Governance, Public Sector Reform, Public Service Reform, Citizen Empowerment, Social Justice, and Ecclesiastical Affairs, Ms. Corinne Provost, Cabinet Secretary, Francine Barron, Chief Executive Officer of CREAD, Mrs. Edith Roberts, Chief Personnel Officer, Dr. Kimon Joseph, Head of Site, Open Campus, Mr. Javed Seaman, Site Technician, Ms. Anisha Welch, Head Business Development Unit of the Open Campus, Dr. Barry Casimir, Program Officer of the Open Campus Dominica site, other staff of the Open Campus, permanent secretaries, government officials, participants. It is indeed a distinct pleasure that I bring remarks to you on behalf of our principal of the UWI Open Campus and Dr. Francis Severin and the Open Campus Executive Management Team on the launch of what I would also reiterate, as our moderator has said, a historic and indeed most important program in the field and area of management development. So first, let me congratulate CREAD for this initiative and also for the Government of Dominica for the support to such a program. The Open Campus is indeed quite pleased to be a part of this collaborative effort in delivering this program in management development. This program is of significant importance, and while I could go on ad nauseum for the entire morning, time wouldn't permit, but I would wish to simply identify three main reasons why I think at this juncture that I would want to identify at this juncture in terms of the significance of this program. Firstly, it represents strategic alignment between the objectives of the Open Campus and CREAD. So there's a natural fit, alignment, and synergy between the two organizations. The Open Campus, like the other campuses of the University of the West Indies, our mission is to advance learning, create knowledge that is essential for development and transformation of the Caribbean and the wider world. And of course, I'm summarizing and giving an abbreviated version of the mission statement. In this regard, the emphasis of this initiative is the provision of learning. And of course, given our participants, the emphasis on adult learning, where persons will not only be exposed to new skills and knowledge, but also they'll be able to bring their various experiences to the learning. And we just want to ensure, if we speak to the Kirkpatrick framework, that it's not just that learning and transfer of knowledge occurs that redounds to organizational development, ministry, the public sector, as well as national development within Dominica. So therefore, in terms of increasing capacity, this program that CREAD has proposed is of significant importance. The second reason that I want to highlight, the assertion is that the development of management is essential for the management of development. I just want to reiterate that. The development of management is essential for the management of development. And I'm saying that statement based on my own experiences, having been trained in economic development, having been a practitioner of sustainable development, and myself being trained and a practitioner of management development. That has always been one of the fundamental mantras that we adhere to. In fact, Minister, in a previous professional life, I worked in the Office of Public Sector Reform in Barbados. And part of, well, my job title at the time was Management Development Officer. And our role primarily required us to assist ministries and departments with building capacity of the employees and senior leadership. And the mantra, therefore, is that if we are going to embark on the various projects and programs that are essential for development, that capacity is essential to facilitate. In that regard, the elements of the program that you have in this program are timely, they are relevant, and I dare say that there may be some other areas that one may want to consider for future iterations of the program. So when we speak to the issue of disaster risk management, strategic planning, leadership development, the Caribbean economy, project management essentials, these are areas of focus that are important. And I dare say another area that I'm quite passionate about that I believe is essential is that of business continuity management as well. My final words, again, the emphasis being on brief, is to the Open Campus Dominica site. This site continues to play a leading role in developing, designing CPE programs for Dominica. And I will go further to say that these programs that are being developed in Dominica serve as a pilot and a basis for future delivery for the wider OECS subregion and the entire Caribbean region. So this course, I believe, is one that has relevance not only to Dominica, but one that can contribute and play a meaningful role to the overall development of the Caribbean region. As I always say when I speak to the Dominica site, I always commend them on being what I refer to as a trend-setting and proactive site in terms of the work that they do and how they act strategically and provide strategic responses to the developmental needs of organizations, and in this case, the public sector and the wider national development of the country. Finally, I wish to thank CREAD for the partnership, for the collaboration with the Open Campus. We look forward to other endeavors of this nature. And I want to say to the learners, the participants, that I hope you embrace, seize the moment in terms of the opportunity that is before you. Look to explore new concepts, new approaches, and of course, of critical importance, if we're speaking about building capacity, is the ability to apply and use these concepts in the transformation of the country. My final comment, of course, is when we speak about competencies, we talk about knowledge and skill, but we also have to emphasize the importance of attitudes. And when we speak about management development or development on a whole, it is not just about skill and knowledge, but it is also the attitude, one of progression, one of productivity, and one of a results orientation. All these contribute to the remit of CREAD and of course the objective, the desired objective that is intended for this program. On that note, I wish you all the best. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Breyer, for bringing remarks on behalf of the campus. Indeed, I echo your sentiment that we are at a pivotal juncture, and that's why we're so excited to be able to partner with CREAD on this very important, significant program. And so with that, I invite Ambassador Francine Barron to bring remarks on behalf of CREAD as Executive Director. Ms. Barron, over to you.
Thank you very much, Jamie. And I wish to recognize this morning the Honorable Greta Roberts, the Minister for Governance, Public Service Reform, Citizen Empowerment, Social Justice and Ecclesiastical Affairs, Ms. Karine Prevost, Secretary to the Cabinet, Permanent Secretaries, Mr. Ryan Bayer, Deputy Director of the Open Campus Sites, Dr. Kimon Joseph, Head of the Site Open Campus, Dominica, Mrs. Edith Roberts is Chief Personnel Officer, Mr. Luis Francisco Thai Santa Cruz, Head of the UNDP Project Office, staff of CREAD, staff of the Public Service of Dominica, the UE team, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all good morning. This is indeed a happy day for us at CREAD. We have worked hard over the last several months together with the UE team to develop a training program for the public service that will help spur the transformation of how we work and improve efficiency and enhance the capacity of public officers to deliver on the development needs of our country. CREAD is indeed pleased that collectively we are able to launch this program today, a program that is designed to enhance the capacity of public officers in Dominica to deliver the development needs of this country. In Dominica's post-independence era, we have witnessed a number of economic, social, and environmental changes that are accompanied by a range of challenges. In more recent times, we have experienced major disruptions caused by devastating weather systems that are attributable to climate change. Scientific reports, in fact, tell us that if the world does not take drastic action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, irreversible climate change is inevitable. This will lead to more extreme weather events, droughts, heat waves, sea level rise, along with many other negative impacts. These realities have brought about an urgency to build Dominica as the first climate resilient nation in the world. Achieving that requires a public service that understands the challenges of countries like ours that are the most vulnerable to the impacts of climate change and the demand that it places on those responsible for resilient development. Dominica has developed a National Resilience Development Strategy, the NRDS, and a Climate Resilience Recovery Plan, the CRRP, that really provides the framework for Dominica to deliver its resilience ambition. The CRRP speaks to 6 result areas that are critical to a resilient Dominica, and one of those areas is strengthened institutional systems. What do we mean by that? It's really the ability to effectively and efficiently deliver on government's comprehensive socio-economic development mandate and to ensure that government services can continue to function during and in the aftermath of a disaster. An important part of that process is ensuring that resilience is institutionalized for continuity and sustainability. So over the last several months, we have been working with government ministries to ensure that resilience is reflected in all of government strategic plans, policies, and budgeting, and properly aligned with our climate resilient plan. Our plan, the CRRP, is aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals and the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction, and it identifies 20 targets that we want to achieve by 2030. So working very closely with government ministries, we have identified indicators for measuring implementation of our resilience plan and a common framework to allow for an effective monitoring system. This week, CREAD hosted 4 online sessions for the public service. These were awareness-raising workshops for public officials on Dominica's resilience agenda to raise awareness of public officials on the CRRP, resilience concepts for Dominica, result areas, targets, and special initiatives that are underway. The workshops included discussions on climate change science and Dominica's progress to achieving its 2030 resilience targets. So this training is just one more step along our resilience journey. CREAD, together with the public service of Dominica, must deliver on our 20 targets with a sense of purpose and urgency. And this is the context within which we launched this course of study today. And the objective of this course is really to help transform the public service from one of mere public administration to one of development management to help advance present and future development needs of this country. This training program was conceptualized by CREAD and developed by the University of the West Indies. And the development of this course has been made possible with funding from the Flexi Technical Assistance Fund of the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office of the United Kingdom. And it's being administered here by the UNDP with additional counterpart funding by the Government of Dominica. This program of study, as we've heard, will comprise 5 major courses and will be administered over a period of 12 months. And participants will receive certification by the University of the West Indies. I should say to you, as the Cabinet Secretary has indicated, that there has been tremendous interest shown by public officers for this course. We will have 50 officers for this first cohort, but we have indicated to you that we would like to see this course continue to be offered to public officers so that everyone would have an opportunity to benefit from the training in this area. The repeated devastation of our country by climate change does not allow us time to fully recover. The ongoing COVID-19 crisis places an additional burden and makes our recovery that more difficult. The public service must act with urgency and play its part in supporting our recovery and in our resilient development. And CREAD is privileged to lead this effort. I am indeed very pleased for the collaboration of CREAD with the University of the West Indies and the management of the public service that have partnered so well to take us to this point today. And I want to say a special thank you to Mr. Samuel Carrott, who is the CREAD's Resilience Planning Development Consultant, who really conceptualized this program and has worked very hard in ensuring that we have gotten to this point today. I want to say a special thank you as well to all of the UE team for developing what we believe is a program that will significantly enhance the work of the public service. And I want to thank also our public officers for responding so well to the invitation to participate. And I thank everyone who has made this possible. Thank you very much. Over to you, Jamie.
Thanks so much, Ms. Barron. And of course, we at the Open Campus applaud the initiative of CREAD to take on these social justice, these social impacts happening within Dominica and making a pathway available to really impact change and being resilient and being proactive. So of course, thank you so much for your remarks. At this time, I would like to invite the Honorable Greta Roberts, the Minister for Governance, Public Service Reform, Citizen Empowerment, Social Justice, and Ecclesiastical Affairs to bring an address on behalf of the government. Honorable Roberts.
Good morning. Thank you, Ms. Rock. Let me first say that it's an honor for me to be in the presence of Ms. Corinne Prevost, Secretary to the Cabinet, Ambassador Francine Barron, CEO of CREAD, Ms. Edith Roberts, Chief Personnel Officer, Permanent Secretaries, Mr. Ryan Bayer, Deputy Director, Open Campus Sites, Dr. Kimon Joseph, Head of Site, Open Campus Dominica, Mr. Louis Francisco, Head of the UNDP Project Office, the staff of CREAD, members of the University of the West Indies team, public officers, members of the media. A blessed day to you all. I am delighted to join you this morning to address you briefly on the occasion of the launch of the Development Management Training for the Public Service. The Government of Dominica has clearly articulated a vision to become the world's first climate resilient country. To achieve this vision, we set out clear targets and actions in the Climate Resilience and Recovery Plan to meet our goal. As one of our first measures, the Climate Resilience and Execution Agency for Dominica, CREAD, was established to assist in the implementation of actions to drive our climate resilience agenda. CREAD now leads and coordinates strategic initiatives across sectors and helps to build capacity within the business community and the public service, while engaging our social sector partners to meet our key resilience targets. There are 6 key result areas outlined in the Climate Resilience and Recovery Plan to successfully build resilience in Dominica. As a government, we are working towards the creation of the following key areas: strong communities, a robust economy, well-planned and durable infrastructure, enhanced collective consciousness, strengthened institutional systems, and protected and sustainably leveraged natural and other unique assets. For the public service, strengthened institutional systems is particularly significant and is defined as the ability to effectively and efficiently deliver on government's comprehensive socio-economic development mandate, and to continue to operate during and in the aftermath of a disaster. The key elements of focus are data and decision-making protocols, policies, strategies, procedures, skills and resilience-linked budget setting, and performance management. This development management training for public officers is part of an overall public sector transformation strategy which seeks to chart a course forward for the change management within the public service to 2030. The strategy states, with anticipated persistent high levels of uncertainty and disruption, which are the new normal for national development, the goal of the transformation is to inculcate critical abilities, attributes, behaviors, mindsets, and modalities within the Dominica Public Service to foster the agility, responsiveness, and efficiency necessary to provide trusted leadership for the country's resilience development. The development management training is targeting mid to senior level public officers to transform public sector management to advance the development needs of Dominica in a holistic and integrated manner. This initiative is led by the Cabinet Secretariat in collaboration with the Climate Resilience Execution Agency for Dominica, CREAD, and the Establishment Personnel and Training Department, EPTD. I am pleased to note that this training will cover the following: the Caribbean economy, its influence on leadership and development in the Caribbean, developing leadership presence, strategic planning and management, fundamentals of disaster and risk management, and strategic change management. I must say that these courses were well chosen and responds to our needs to build capacity and resilience and transform our public service in Dominica. I am also extremely pleased that we are partnering with the University of the West Indies Open Campus to deliver this program to public officers. As our premier higher education institution in the region, bring expertise and experience together to create a positive learning experience for all of our participants. Let me congratulate the participants who have been selected for this training opportunity. I have been advised that this training program was oversubscribed with close to 100 participants, of which 50 were selected. I therefore encourage all of you to make the best use of this opportunity which has been given to you today. Pursuing studies while employed can be tedious, and consider this a worthwhile sacrifice. This program comes at a cost of approximately 200,000 EC dollars, funded by the Flexi Technical Assistance Fund of the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office of the United Kingdom, and administered by the UNDP counterpart funding from the Commonwealth of Dominica. I also wish to thank the FCDO and the UNDP wholeheartedly for their continued support to Dominica. Post-Hurricane Maria, these organizations have expanded their presence and tangible support to Dominica, and we are very appreciative for their efforts. Let me thank Ambassador Barron and her team at CREAD for developing this concept and mobilizing the funding for the program, and the UE Open Campus team for your partnership. I also wish to applaud the efforts of all the public officers from the Cabinet Secretariat and the Establishment Personnel and Training Department for their role in making today a possibility. Thank you so much for having me here today, and best wishes to all. A pleasant day to you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Roberts. Your remarks indeed have been inspiring, and it shows the behind-the-scene work that the government has been doing to collaborate with all of these partners to ensure that the public sector is capacitated and recognizing just the value of the training of development management. So thank you so much for your remarks. At this time, I hand over to Dr. Kimon Joseph, Head of Site, Open Campus Dominica, who will be providing an overview of the Development Management Training Program. Over to you, Dr. Joseph.
Morning to you. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, we are.
Okay, just try to move things a little bit. Give me just a second. Yes, my tools are in front of my face and I never know quite what to do when they're all in front of me like that. So they're preventing me from getting where I want. Here we are. Lovely. All right. So good morning to Honorable Greta Roberts, who is the Minister for Governance, Public Service Reform, Citizen Empowerment, Social Justice, and Ecclesiastical Affairs, and my student. Greta took my public speaking class. Hello, Greta. Good morning to you. Good morning to Ambassador Francine Barron and her team at CREAD. Good morning to CABSEC Prevo and all the other PSCs who are with us this morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to my colleagues from UWI Open Campus, from the Center for the Continuing Professional Education Program, as well as my Open Campus colleagues and my colleagues from BDU. Good morning to you. Good morning to the participants of the program, as well as the media representatives who are joining us this morning. So my warmest good morning to all of you. So my job is to talk about the overview essentially of the program that the participants are embarking upon, which is the development management training for the public sector. So when people enroll in CPE programs at UWI Open Campus, they are joining these programs for professional development as a way to really continue to build on some of the things that they know and to even learn new things. Also, it's an opportunity for them to get opportunities or continuing their opportunities for lifelong learning. So typically, courses at Dominica site, we have people as young as 16, and I have taught students in their 80s as well. So there's a wide range of people taking courses and being in the same course together. So it really is an opportunity for lifelong learning. And it also provides opportunities for networking. I know I say to my public speaking students all the time, we get the opportunity to hear students' bios before they do their final presentation, and you get to hear about all kinds of interests that people have and all kinds of hobbies. And you, of course, can continue to network with the people that you've been in the programs with. So our CPE programs provide that. What are the benefits of UWI continuing and professional education courses? Well, firstly, we are part of the world's top 1.5%. So you know that what you are getting is top class and excellent quality. Second, we have very qualified tutors. Our tutors for our courses are at the top of their field, and they consider being part of our program as part of their own contribution to national development. We also have wonderful virtual options, which I'm going to tell you a little bit about in a while, that allows you to join your classes from the comfort of your own home. No longer is CPE, Continuing Professional Education Program, for Roseau people or Roseau people thing, but right now, anybody, anywhere in Dominica can be part of it, and throughout the Caribbean and throughout the world as well, can be part of our courses because of these virtual options. And also we have excellent student support. So we contact our students throughout. We always make ourselves available to ensure that students have a good experience during our program. The Dominica site specifically, when it comes to continuing and professional education programs, we have over 50 courses each year that are on offer within our program. Our growth currently exceeds 1,000 participants per academic year in CPE alone, and that has been happening since 2019-2020. We have a very high student retention rate and a very low student attrition rate. When students leave our programs, it is because of something really serious that they cannot continue, because we work with students to ensure that they remain in their programs and that they are successful. Over 95% of the tutors that we have score at least 90% in both the student evaluation and the tutors evaluation. And we continually work and provide training for our tutors to ensure that they do a good job with our students and that our students keep coming back and register for more courses because they have such a good experience with their tutors. Now let's talk specifically about your development management program, because I'm sure by now I have convinced you that you are in good hands and that you're in the right place. This program in development management was designed to train senior level managers and supervisors in the public service in the area of development management. The program will also offer participants the ability to garner practical skills in order to manage and lead development interventions in a dynamic environment. It was designed to blend both theory and practice in order to explain organizations' policy behavior through an integrated approach. So we'll go through the modules in a while and you'll really get to see how the 5 of them actually come together to produce that development management program. The program is expected to assist participants to analyze leadership, management, planning, and policy aspects of the development process. So how long is the program? The entire program will run for 1 year. So we will begin on Tuesday the 31st of May, and we will run until next April. There are 5 modules in the program and it involves both synchronous and asynchronous activities, and I'm going to explain that now. So your live sessions will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. via Zoom. And that time must be dedicated because you will need to attend your classes regularly and participate in your classes and your sessions. That is very important. So I'm already blocking your Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. You would need to join your classes there, your classes via Zoom. For the asynchronous work, the work that is not live, we will have the Learning Exchange platform. And so Javid will be explaining what that is and how you will access it in his turn when he does the demo. And who is the program for? The program is essentially for managers and supervisors within the public service, and both Honorable Greta Roberts and Ms. Francine Barron explained the reason for that, the reason why the program was conceptualized, and the reason why you specifically were chosen to be part of that program. Now the module lists. The first module is the Caribbean economy, and that will start on Tuesday next week and will run until the 14th of July. After that, you will have a short break, and then you will move into module 2, which is fundamentals of disaster risk management from the 25th of July until the 6th of September. The third module is developing leadership presence, and that will happen from the 17th of October until December 1st. Then we will have a break and we will come back in the new year, God will, with module 4, strategic planning and management from the 9th of January until the 23rd of February. And then our final module will be module 5, project management from the 6th of March until April 13th. So you can see there's a flow from one thing to the other through the entire 5 modules. What can you expect within our session? Are we going to just show slides and just talk? Well, as anybody who has ever taken our programs before can tell you, that is not how we teach at the Dominica site. So the program will be filled with group activities. You will have session breakout rooms within the Zoom when you are there for class. You will have project activities to do. You will have video and music learning activities, role-playing, icebreakers, games, quizzes, polls, and puzzles. And that is through both the synchronous and asynchronous learning platforms. So it is going to be a very exciting time. And just like we've had with the other groups that we've had in the past, particularly since we began using Zoom, when it is over, you will say, class finished already? So because we aim to make sure that you enjoy the entire program, that you enjoy each module. All right, I do not think that I I'm allowed to entertain questions. So I'm not sure, but I have a questions slide anyway, I'm not sure. But I do want to say that I am really looking forward to the program starting. We have been waiting with tremendous anticipation and looking forward to the program. And now we are very excited. We are at the Dominica site that we are finally going to make a start. We've been waiting for you and really longing to assist you in this journey. And I want you to know that we are here for you, and we will be willing to support you throughout the entire process. We are only a phone call away. So if you need us, please do not hesitate to call upon us so that we can provide the assistance that you need.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joseph. Your usual enthusiasm and excitement for lifelong learning that takes place at the Dominica site is very apparent. And, you know, we are excited to have the program being delivered at the OC Dominica site that does really amazing work. And I think your questions came at a really great time, because now we are at the section where we are launching the Q&A. And this is going to be led by Mrs. Edith Roberts, the Chief Personnel Officer of the Ministry of Establishment. So at this time, I will invite Mrs. Roberts to lead our Q&A.
Thank you, Jamie. Protocol has already been established, so but I want to say good morning to all our panelists, our PSAs who are on the call, the persons and the staff from UE, public officers. Good morning. I have been monitoring the chats as well as the Q&A section. We do not have any questions in both of these areas. However, during Dr. Joseph's presentation, I saw Shaka Dangabin had his hand raised. So I'm inviting persons to include whatever questions they may now have. They may include it in the chat, and we can redirect the questions to the relevant persons so that your questions can be answered. Okay, so Shaka is saying that his hands were raised in error. So apparently we do not have any questions from Shaka. If there is any other person on the call who would like to ask a question, we are asking that you direct the question in the chat or in the Q&A section. Okay, we have one question from David, and this is: how will the costs be assessed? Will there be formal exams? So I'm going to direct this call to one of the UE representatives, Dr. Kimon Joseph.
Yes, good morning. That is a very good question. We will have assessments throughout. So each of the 5 modules will have its own set of assessments. We do not really like too many exams. Barry can correct me. I think the project management might have a test. I don't think it's quite an exam, but for the others, they will be more project-based as the 3rd assignment. So I can tell you, for instance, for the developing leadership course, for example, you would have to do a leadership philosophy. You would also have to do a reflective journal, and then you would have to do a final group presentation. So that is more the style that we are taking, more project-based work and reflective work rather than exams. But each module will have its own set of assessments. Barry, can you verify, Dr. Kazmi, sorry, can you verify for me whether the project management has that big test at the end?
Yes, only project management will have an exam, because what we wanted to do is that we wanted to mimic very much the project management certification exam. So we wanted to prepare the participants for that. But even in that course, we also have an assignment, because we want you to be able, when you come out from those courses, that you're able to do things. So we want many of our courses assessments to be really project-based.
Thank you, Dr. Barry and Dr. Joseph. We have another question. Will this session be fully online, blended, or face-to-face? Handing over to UWI representatives.
Okay, yes. So as I said earlier with the, there's asynchronous and asynchronous work. So for the live sessions, these will be done via the Zoom platform. So you will be able to join your class on Tuesday using the Zoom details that we will provide for you. So there will be no face-to-face, but you will be able to join your class via Zoom. And you would have, of course, access to the platform. So your course materials will be there. The recordings from the Zoom, I see somebody asked us about recordings, will be there as well. But you are really encouraged to attend your classes. Attend your classes and do not rely on the Zoom recordings, because really there are activities that you have to do within your group. I must say, I know that there are teachers and principals here. I can see, it is very difficult to have yourself just be in the session and not physically be at your device and working, okay? Because there are activities that you have to do. So your teacher will know if you're doing laundry perhaps, or seasoning your meat or something, and are not really physically sitting there. All right, so you have registered for the class. Remember that there were others who did register and you were selected. So we are really putting the onus on you to really be present, be very present, even if it is online. Barry always likes to say that the only thing you cannot do with all the activities that we will have is to touch your teacher with your hands. But really, the opportunity to participate has been afforded to you, and we really want to implore you that, that you really do take advantage of the opportunity to make that commitment to be present.
Thank you very much, Ms. Joseph. Another question, what will participants receive on completion of the program? Ms. Joseph?
I can take that one, Ms. Roberts. Throughout the program, the students will be receiving an award. So as students complete each module, they will be receiving a verifiable credential. And why we're so excited to be able to offer verifiable credentials is because the participants will be able to show their progress as they're going through the program. What's so innovative about a verifiable credential is that the students will be receiving a digital badge that they can display on their social media pages, on LinkedIn. I'm sure that you've seen these on LinkedIn before when a person has completed training with a university or a regional organization. And so these are badges that will be offered at every stage of the program and at completion of each module. And at the end of the program, students will receive a certificate of achievement with continuing education units as the mark of completion and successful completion and award of the program. That certificate will be jointly issued by the university in partnership with CREAD. So there will be two signatories, one on behalf of the university and one on behalf of CREAD. And that will be the culminative award, which displays the title of the program as well as the total number of continuing education units that the students have earned by completing the full program. So those are the two types of awards that the students will receive: the certificate at the end of the program and a digital badge at the end of each module of the program.
Thank you, Jamie. We have two similar questions, one in the chat and one in the Q&A. What happens if a student has previously taken certain courses offered? And the other one is, will there be exemptions for persons who have already done the project management course? So similar questions. I'll hand over to you, representative.
Okay, that's a good question. For the project management and leadership, for example, if people are just pulling out courses, if you have done any of the two courses, you'll have to do it over. The other thing is that some of a lot of the content areas that you would have covered over the 12-week program, some of it we tailored those courses specifically for the needs of the public sector. So while you're covering, say, for example, you're doing something change management and leadership, we'd have tailored that particular chapter or module specifically for changes that would have happened in the public sector. So while the course outline is really the same, but the content would be different. And we have made changes for the entire content areas in the program. The assessments will also be different. So really and truly the same course but different content material.
Thank you, Dr. Barry. We do not have any other questions. However, I would like to encourage all participants, if I'm following this ceremony, you have questions that you can direct it to us and we can reach out for the necessary answers or provide you with the necessary answers. Jamie?
Thank you, Ms. Roberts. And at this stage, we are now going to invite Ms. Karine Progress, Cabinet Secretary, to provide closing remarks. And thank you for your participation in the first half of the launch. CabSec.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jamie. And let me just say special thanks to the Honorable Minister for Governance for her leadership and guidance on this project, and also on our overall public sector transformation strategy and other projects, including our organizational review and reclassification. And thank you for gracing us with your presence this morning. I want to especially thank Ambassador Barron and Mr. Samuel Carrett of CREAD. I know Mr. Carrett is very passionate about development management, and he has done an excellent job with the team and UE in carefully selecting the courses for this program. And we are very appreciative, Mr. Carrett, for your leadership, as well as the rest of the team at CREAD, led by Ambassador Barron. And as Ambassador Barron indicated in her speech, there are a number of initiatives being coordinated by CREAD in support of our capacity building efforts in the public service. And this is just another one of those initiatives. I would like to especially thank Dr. Kimon Joseph and Dr. Barry and your team at the University of the West Indies Open Campus site in Dominica. Just listening to you all, I feel like I should be part of this program. I really wish I had the time, and I know that a number of permanent secretaries also, in reviewing this program, expressed interest in joining the program, in participating, but of course, due to the limited spaces, a number of permanent secretaries gave up their spaces to ensure that their staff could pursue and participate in this program. So I really want to thank you all. I am hoping, and we had said this at a meeting at some point, that you would allow some of us to eavesdrop on your classes, perhaps, just so that we can get an opportunity to be part of this process and this learning experience. But we'll have on the side another discussion on that. I really would like to thank, of course, the team at UNDP for their support in administering the FCDO Flexi Technical Assistance Grant. This grant has really assisted us. It goes a long way in covering the cost of this program. And of course, the balance of it will be met by the Government of Dominica. But we do appreciate the efforts of the FCDO office and the UNDP office in Dominica, who we have been working very closely with. Of course, when I speak of UE Open Campus site in Dominica, the management of the UE Open Campus sites across the region, we have Mr. Ryan Bayer joining us this morning, and seems also very passionate about development management and his experience in the public service that he brought to us this morning. We hope we can hear some more from you in the future. I also would like to thank the permanent secretaries, the Committee of Permanent Secretaries, as I said earlier, for supporting this program. We had a group of permanent secretaries who assisted in the selection of participants, but even before that, we would have had the staff, Ms. Lydia Toussaint, and the staff of the public service training department of the establishment personnel and training department, assisting with the administration in terms of collecting the application forms and going through the administration process. And of course, our staff Ms. Vanessa John Jules and other staff at the Cabinet Secretariat who assisted greatly. But there are a number of people who have been involved in getting this program up and running. It's something that we jumped on the opportunity once it was brought to us by CREAD, and I'm very pleased and very happy that we are starting this today. Like we said, there are a number of other participants who would have wanted to join this program. If any of you feel that you may or not be able to continue, please let us know very soon, because there's a long waiting list. But I do believe that all of you who are on here today will continue and will participate in this program. So again, let me thank everyone who has made this possible. We would like to just ensure that the participants can receive the full benefit of this program. So I would like to encourage you, like the UE speakers indicated during the Q&A session, that you participate fully in the program. And I was very pleased to hear Dr. Kazimi say that this program, although you may have done similar programs with UE in the past, but this program is targeted and has been crafted carefully for the public service of Dominica. And you have been selected because you are senior officers. We see you and your role in the public service, in the ministry and the departments that you operate as being very important. We see there being a future for you in terms of succession planning in the public service. So all of these elements have been taken into consideration in your selection. So again, thank you very much to everyone and even to the media joining us this morning.